Alright, so we are into the canning process. As you see, we've got one canner going and we've got a second canner ready to be canned. So, I've shut off the water for a little bit because it was actually boiling and you don't fully want it boiling. I've gotten our lid lifter with
lid holder, I think technically. I don't know.
Lid holder, I don't know.
I think the lid lifter is that magnetic thing, but whatever.
It also lifts lids, so.
The thing works great to hold lids in the hot water. I don't know even what it holds, maybe a dozen.
Lids, but we only put 7 in. To get 7 in, we have to have 2 together, and then we space it out. Because if we use the magnetic lid lifter, it's easier. But so what we do is we'll take our jars. Put them into crock pots because then we reuse the water if we would go for another round of making applesauce.
Yeah, so basically rather than heating up the water all over again, because applesauce is water bathed. It's not pressure canned. It's basically in a pot of boiling water, which is what these are. And so we're just basically warming up the jars in there full of water. I gotta step back and get out of Samantha's way. And then we empty out the water, but rather than just pouring it down the drain, we're pouring it into a crock pot. That way we've got hot water yet to do the next batch. Because typically, well, like yesterday, we did those 52 quarts, but each one of these canners, our canners hold 7 quarts apiece, so you can only do 14 at a time if you got both of them running. So yeah, so we've got a crock pot over there out of that pot, a canner. We've got a crock pot over there, which she's pouring out of the jars. Now, typically we lose about a quart probably of water, just in evaporation. So we do have to add some, but...
And we try to make it room temperature water, not cold water from the fridge or anything.
Yeah.
Because then we don't snap jars.
Yeah, you get too much of a temperature shock on these jars and they will snap. So...
And we have learned from experience, you do not freeze quart jars.
Yeah. Quart jars can't be frozen.
They will snap.
Yep. So she's got 6 of them out here right now. She's working on the 7th.
Alright, and then I will take the lids and I'll submerge them into the water.
So yeah, there is water left in here. This is about what's going to be needed to cover the jars when they're full of applesauce. So basically all we've done is we've dumped the contents of the jar out but left the surrounding water in, so that way it'll still cover those jars when we get them back in there full. So...
Hey Rob, I want to be canned.
Hi applesauce. Alright, so she's got a funnel and a ladle and a big pot of applesauce and a sidekick saying, please drop some. You know I'm cute. I'll take some of that applesauce. So from there, it's basically fill the jars. And like that, there's 7 full jars. All right, what's next, Samantha?
All right, so we just kind of shake out what's left in here a little bit. So we don't want to waste any of that yummy stuff.
No, we just kind of put everything up in a bowl and you reuse it, so we're not washing it or anything.
And I've got a bubble wand. And applesauce, I don't know if you fully need to do it, but we just do it just to get some of the air bubbles out. Just a quick all around.
Then we've got a damp paper towel here, and we just take and wipe that rim off. See, there was a little bit of applesauce on there. You want to just wipe this down. Trying to do this while filming is interesting. Basically,
Come on, I lived with one hand for 2 years, almost 2 years.
but yeah, basically wipe those down just to get any. This one's done. Just to get any excess applesauce off of it. That way everything will seal down properly. Is what you're going for there.
All right, they're all wiped down. They're prepped for being shut up. So I'm just gonna shake this out, lift it all up because I got all 7 out, and I bring it over. And then, morning, they are hot.
Just kind of wiping the excess water off of them is basically what you're doing. Set them on. Grab a ring.
Screw it on. We have this ball.
This thing is awesome.
Yeah, it can open or it can tighten.
Yeah,
This,
so
you won't actually, what it is.
there's 2 different sizes. It fits regular and wide mouth.
I find that it fits the wide mouth a lot better.
It does.
But basically what you're doing is that you're just getting the ring in there nice and tight. And then you're... So there's arrows.
Yeah, the handle actually breaks. We can show it to you in a bit. It's actually, the handle will twist and kind of break away. See?
Once it breaks away,
So it breaks away and you line the arrows up.
once it does that, you're tight enough. You don't want to go any tighter because then you will actually get little wrinkles into your lid.
Yeah.
So with doing it just to line the arrows, you do not break or get any wrinkles and it looks all pretty. So then we just put them back into the water. I'll actually start turning this on. And then I do repeat that 7 times.
All right.
And then what we do is once the water is boiling, like this pot is, it goes for 20 minutes.
Yeah. So basically, you get all these in here. The water will come up. You want that water up, half an inch or so above the top of the lids. You want them fully submerged. Turn the heat on, get it to a nice boil, and applesauce is 20 minutes in the boiling water. Once that's done, they'll come out. We've got a table sitting over here. This is yesterday's applesauce, but then they'll come out and we'll set them over here. We will cover them usually with a towel just to keep them from cooling down too fast and busting the jars. And then the next day we will write the date on top of them, and these will get carried downstairs and put away in our canning room. So, all right.
We'll can you later. All right, so I'm inside here working on the applesauce when I look out and I think Rob may have found an idea of how to use the pressure washer. Shall we go see? What did you find out here, Rob?
Well, I wasn't able to use the pressure washer to wash apples, but I'm washing up some of the microgreen trays now, and I'm also going to wash up the apple buckets to get ready to go. But I'm making use of it, but not for the intended.
So what are we doing, Rob?
Just washing microgreen trays.
Washing the microgreen trays. So Rob, is this your way that you're liking to wash the trays now? Is it easier than scrubbing?
It's easier than scrubbing them. So I don't know. I just figured I'd try it. I got the machine. I might as well use it, right?
Yep.
So I think it is a little faster than scrubbing them. but
Will a test come when we pull up the hydroponic ones?
yeah, I gotta pull up the hydroponic ones and test those. I'm gonna try spraying those off with this and see how that works, because we've got them to do too. Basically what I had done was I sprayed out the inside. I laid them down here on the ground and I sprayed out the inside first, which is where it's really stuck on in the roots and such. And then I've been just picking them up and rinsing them.
I don't know what words you're talking about. Our overflowing bucket